Boom. Yes. Interesting things be happening on my stream nowadays. Audio sometimes doesn't seem to want to work. Welcome to the stream. Yes. For a moment there, I had an issue with the audio. Yeah. And it wasn't coming out properly. I just had to make sure that the right fader was actually being taken in. Hope you guys are well. Yes, we are back. We are doing more and more of the same. We're doing a bit of Football Manager. We are back streaming. Yes, welcome to the stream. Yes, the World Cup is over. It is. I mean, for me, I don't know how I am reacting to the World Cup. Some of the matches are fantastic. Yeah, some of the matches were great. I mean, but then we also had things happening during the World Cup that I just couldn't put my head around, right? Like the final had a halftime that was 27 minutes long. I don't know what to say about all this, except okay, I guess this is the World Cup then. I have no idea what to say, man. Yeah, it's a very strange world we live in where the World Cup has become is not the center of attraction anymore. I mean, now everybody's talking about things that are happening during the World Cup. Yes, Spain won the World Cup. I am happy that Spain won the World Cup. I think they deserve to win. Hey, King Popper, how are you, man? They played the best football throughout the whole World Cup, and Godspurs picked the right team, didn't he? He was the one that reckoned Spain would win the World Cup. And I was gunning for Argentina or Mexico. I thought they would be the teams. But I guess leading to the final, Argentina basically shot themselves in the foot. They forgot what brought them there and started becoming a bit brutish in the game. And, well, Spain just had too much class on the pitch, I think. And they were able to get the result. Although I'm not one for talking about conspiracies and whatever, I can't. I'm just pissed off that the halftime show was 27 minutes long. It's crazy. Yeah, it's so much to talk about. I mean, if you want to look at the negative stuff from the World Cup, there's plenty. I'm sure you just watched the prize presentation ceremony and you'll know what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to dwell with that. I think the World Cup is over. C'est la vie, such is life. In the rearview mirror right now for me, the World Cup. Now we're back in the game of Football Manager. There is going to be a new edition of Football Manager this year. I'm very certain. It was embarrassing. The worst World Cup I've seen in my lifetime. Thank God. Yeah, thank God it's over. That's how I feel too. I mean, for me, I didn't even bother watching the final. Yeah, I just couldn't be asked. This is the first time I've not watched the World Cup final. I couldn't be bothered. I was like, I'm not gonna. It's just not. I mean, 27-minute halftime show. What's happened to the beautiful game? I mean, there is a reason why it's 15 minutes, right? They made it 27 minutes. Madonna was flanked by Ronaldo and Ronaldinho. I don't know. Okay, look. Ronaldo obviously was having a damn good time. That's for sure. Spain deserved. Okay, on the quality of the game itself, Spain definitely deserved to win. Okay, there's no doubt about it. England decided to finally attack in the third and fourth playoffs match. Was like, why wait until that moment? Why? What happened to them in the semi-finals? So I was like, God, this is hilarious, man. England, this is probably, I mean, okay, the good news for England is that they have consistently managed to finish in, at least get up, do no worse than the quarterfinals in the last few championships they've played, which is good. Which is kudos to a team that barely made it to the quarterfinals the last time. I think the last time around was the 1990, right? So, yeah, kudos to them. They are, it's about time, right? Because you undoubtedly have some of the best players in the world. But if you look at the the number of players that were playing on the pitch, right, in all the teams, you can see, right, a number of them are playing in England. So you look at the winning teams here. So the best English players are not playing. Harry Kane not playing in England. Jude Bellingham not playing in England. Let's go through a list of names of players that are playing in England for the first time as well. No Liverpool player was in the team as well. Brentford had a representative in the former Jordan Henderson. Spurs, no, right? Spurs didn't have a player then. Yeah. Then we had Guehi, we had Harry Kane. English players are Bukayo Saka, Anthony Gordon. Come to mind, John Stones, of course. But Wayne Rooney's, I have to go and check it out. No, I had it on my top. I was like, you're right about Spain. I know Wayne Rooney has been blunt throughout the whole World Cup. I've heard his comments. He's been blunt, and to be fair, he's been saying the truth. I think Gianni Infantino has destroyed the World Cup for greed, for personal. I mean, it's like put him and Trump together, right? It's like both of them are on the same page when it comes to personal glories. Do you know that there is a when it comes to the host sports, you see, there is a contract that is given to HSB. It makes it a host sports broadcaster, right? That's the one that is FIFA owned. They are the ones that actually, FIFA owns the cameras that show the World Cup. Okay, so this is how it works. So they own the cameras that show the World Cup, and they've got a company that does it. Okay. Now they take that feed and they show it to the rest of the world. So the rest of the world have got no chance to do their own cutaways, right? Because unless of course they decide to record something and replay like 10 seconds later, that kind of thing. But nobody does that. So the images that come from the stadium are controlled by FIFA, right? So FIFA own the pictures. The interesting thing is there is a rule HSBC has to follow, which is they have to show the VVVIP. So that means any politically important person, for example, the king and the queen show up, right? So you have to show the king and the queen, that kind of thing, right? Okay, so you have to show the king and the queen. You have to show the president. You have to show the prime minister. So when Macron shows up, you show Macron. Then you have to show you have to show luminaries. That's the agreement that they have, including Gianni Infantino. So when the camera cuts to him, it's not because of anything else, but because they are contractually obligated to show his face, because he is classed as one of those VVVIPs, very, very, of course, I mean, being the bloody head of the damn federation. And being in the spotlight does help him a lot because he's up for re-election again. But he's to what is supposed to be the most corrupt job on the planet next to the president of the USA. Okay, so, I mean, all politicians are corrupt. I'm just taking it out on the US president. But hey, man, all politicians are corrupt. You come to me and tell me politicians, the only politician that probably wasn't corrupt was Mahatma Gandhi. That's about it. The way I look at it, everybody else is corrupt. I dare say the same shit, okay? I come from Singapore. I ain't about to sit down here and talk about how clean our politicians are. We just have one politician having to resign because of some affair. I can't go into too much detail because I don't know enough. Okay? All I know is no crime was committed, but he had to resign. Such is the situation in Singapore. But, if you're in France and you're a politician, right? If you have an affair, they tap you on the shoulder. Hey, well done. Elsewhere around the world, no such thing. Well, in France, probably, yeah, you have an affair. It's like a run-of-the-mill thing. In America, Singapore, everywhere else, you have an affair. That's it. Oh, you gotta go. Stormy Daniels. Oh, she was quite an interesting lady. Anyway, enough of that. Gianni Infantino's denied request. FIFA asked for a special police motorcade escort with road closures and traffic for Infantino during meetings in Vancouver, Canada. In Vancouver, police then saying FIFA don't qualify for that high level protection. Exactly, what? Infantino wanted road closure and traffic priority. What the fuck is wrong with him? Why can't he just fly a helicopter to Vancouver? He does that, what? He's got a personal jet. Do you know that? He's got his own plane that flies him from venue to make sure that he gets shot. I don't know. Look, they've got, granted, people want to feel that way. Gianni Infantino wants to think that he's on par with, he can mingle with presidents and kings and queens. And, if he goes to Monaco, he expects the red carpet treatment when he comes in to throw the dice at the baccarat table. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. I don't talk about it. It's going to be depressing if we carry on. Let's not talk about this anymore. Let's talk about what we're here to do today. We're playing Football Manager or Diablo. I've been playing Diablo 4. I'll be very honest with you guys. I've been playing Diablo. I've been having a damn good time with. Like, I've got this druid, right? I built this druid around. Problem is, I managed to get this mythic staff in Diablo. And the moment I picked the staff up, and I was only level 70. I just turned 70, like max end game. And I was very lucky to get a mythic staff. And then I saw the staff, and it was the greatest staff of the crone. And I went like, hey man, this staff is for werewolf. And I went like, okay, so I'm a druid. So I started playing with the build. So slowly I've had to, modify. It's pretty interesting. I like Diablo in the sense that you've got to do these things all the time, right? You've got to change your build. So it's not bad game. I'm playing Diablo and having a real good time. Only problem is, I think on Discord, I better create a separate channel for people to play other games. Because I'm playing it alone. So I was like, everybody is going with party of 4. I'm like doing it on my own. Oh no, I had friends of mine who found out I was playing and they kind of like, okay, we will power level you. So they power leveled me from level, I think it was level 3 or level 4. And they put me in they just said, whatever you do, don't move. Just stay there. Okay? And we'll level you all the way to 70. So they leveled me all the way so I could skip everything else. Because I did the campaign first. I finished the campaign at level 35. And they said, okay, fine, we'll power level you all the way through. So they power leveled me all the way through with torment levels. And so I entered level 70 end game, able to do my friends, when I was showing one of my friends my game, he went like, how the hell are you doing torment level 130? You just turned 70. I say, I know. And they power leveled me. So they power leveled me. That's the only thing they did. And the rest of the way I had to do it myself, which is kind of cool. Anyway, enough of that. Let's crack on, man. Here we go. This is the game we'll be playing today. I hope I've got the right save. I really do. Because I have this habit, right, when I'm playing this game, right? Because I've got so many saves loaded up. Yeah, I could easily end up using the wrong one. So let me just check. I'm pretty sure I didn't leave them on holiday, Yeah. See, a tactics or manager. This is the show that we did, 14th of July. See, you got all the dates, right? So we got Algeria, there's a World Cup. Brentford Tactics, Brentford Tactics or Manager. All these are Tactics or Manager. Senegal and Algeria. And the last save that we have is this one. Tiki Press. Right, so my head says this is the one. But I said Discord Forest 31st of August. Yeah, because I know we just started the season, so it should be season 6 anyway. Yeah, so I usually these and I left it up. So this could be it. And then looking at our tactics, Dan, Shamiti, Bischoff, Ferguson, Williams, Canestrelli, Leone, Beraldo. Seems like this is the team. I remember I'm close to the top. Brighton is already here. Spurs is somewhere here. Brighton, we know, they'll always be behind me. Yeah. We already passed them. So the goal of this is to make sure that I catch the human players because I have no power over transfers, right? I have zero power over transfers. So I have to do the whole. I have to do the. I have to play the game in a slightly different way. I mean, okay, I'll be very honest with everyone. Right? This game right now isn't very difficult. So you end up doing things like. I play Werder Bremen in a Conference League phase. It's interesting, you know. Okay, I have to really go back to this club, bro. I'll be like, I don't know what's going on anymore. Okay, current season. Last season, this is how we finished. Brighton, Nottingham Forest, and Spurs. Yeah, three-way split. So we caught Spurs last season, right? The season before that, we were like, this is the correct season. So now I'm here and I'm in the Champions League. Oh, wow. Such is life, huh? I don't recall that. So I'm having to compete in Europe. Bishop is still using this tactic. And of course, we have the other teams. This is Spurs. I shouldn't be doing this. I should relinquish control over both these teams. Yeah, that way it's easier. Relinquish control. Yeah, and then we come out here and relinquish control over the next team too. So that way I don't have to do anything else. So we come in here, go to settings, come in here, go to Tiki Press, and holiday. Okay. Then I just leave it now. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay, when it switches over to him, because I don't like this because it'll have that one small mini thing. I'd rather have relinquish control. It's much more effective. Because he's on holiday only, right? So, FM27 is coming. Guys, it'll be here. Mark my words. FM27 is going to be a game that I will be very honest about when I get my hands on the game. All right, I'll be very, very honest. Okay, I want to relinquish control. I don't want to speed things up. Yeah, okay. So we come inside here, and then we go relinquish control. I'd rather do it this way. Then later I'll just save the game and I'll relinquish control myself as well. Okay, all right, here we go. So we are now playing Sunderland. The tactic has always been the same. Now I've been playing this 3-4-3. I wanted to play a 4-3-3, but generally I only played a 4-3-3 when I have options midfield wise. So far I haven't had much. Whenever I wanted, we got this Garcia Chico. I promoted him. He's in my youth team. Salvador. Wow. All these nice names, no? They all get promoted simply because of their name. Danzo is injured. Stavo is back. He's 100%. Then we got Fujita. I love him. Patuale. Watching on. Reddit. Okay, definitely I went through my phase where I promoted players basically on their name. Huh? Yeah, I guarantee you I promoted them because of their name. Dovan. Who's Dovin? Who's the goalkeeper? Fortan. Seriously, my board, when they sign players, they have to rhyme. 14, Dovin. There must be. Yeah, we got this. We got Ashley. This is supposed to be Nico Williams, not Ashley Williams. Then we got Beraldo is our defender at the back. He can be a DM as well. And then we got Canestrelli and Leone. Now, we can actually put this guy on the bench, and then we can bring in other players like to give them a chance to play, like, Edwards and Watanabe. Watanabe is not that bad. We'll give Watanabe a chance so Beraldo can rest. Okay. Canestrelli, Leone, Barrero can come in, and then Stavo can play up here. McAtee, Chermiti, and what's his name is up there. We'll play Stavo up top. Okay, so now we can holiday all the way to the next game, which is going to be quite an interesting match. So Football Manager is that kind of a game now. Okay, essentially, I'm not the only one that feels that it's this way. The game is tactically is still the same. There's no real difference in the game. I mean, some people might say that the match engine plays very differently, or it's bugged, or whatever. Whatever. Okay, so I'm not gonna debate that. For me, the match engine needs improvement, but it's not at the point where I would say I don't want to touch this game with a 10-foot pole. The only reason why I don't play this game as much as I used to, because my hours only 500, it's because the training side of the game is complete garbage, right? So the training side is garbage, and it's not worth putting any effort into. So the moment I come across a game where you don't want to put effort into something, I find it very hard to justify time. Especially when one of the biggest aspects of the game that I enjoyed all these years was developing youth players. Now, I'm not saying you can't develop youth players, it's just brain dead easy at the moment, requiring pretty little input from you as a manager, because you can have a DOF, sign all the best staff, get all the best facilities, and you will have wonderful players coming through. And the best part is they all get trained really easily. So there's no magic sauce right now that, oh, I developed him really well. No, seriously, they're going to develop really well. I mean, it's like what SI did to me, this is how I see it, is that they made the game so easy that you can't go wrong. Can you imagine with all the UI issues? Okay, imagine this, okay? If the game had UI issues and I don't know what's going on. Something is not very right. Because I don't see my name on the top there. So I got very, very, very worried that it might end up holidaying all the way. So we got to stop this. Okay, there, see what is happening here? There, Profeto Papa and holiday. It is, oh my God. I'm on holiday all the way. It's gone waiting, no? Yeah. It's very dangerous. I don't like this. I don't like it when the game does this. See, this game, these just to show you some of the issues that the game has. Okay. Look at that. Look at this. Oh, man. I only went holiday. I can't even end holiday. I can't even end holiday. Okay. I'll do it this way. I have to just do it this way. That Profeto Papa. So this is the way I forced it to take me out of holiday. Yeah. Yeah, I got no choice but to do it like that. So I got a Spurs fan and then put him on holiday indefinitely. Because I wanted to play the game. So now luckily we still only have to go to the 19th of, because who doesn't want a holiday until 19th of October, right? Such a long way to go. Choose next match. Yeah, confirm. Gave me a bit of a worry. Yeah. So if you play Football Manager right now, the game is straightforward. Straightforward. It's but tactically it's fun. Modifying the match engine. Not modifying the match engine. Sorry. Creating tactics on the fly and having fun with them. It's really, really fun. Yeah. But eventually you'll end up looking at the game, because tactically the game is very straightforward. Yeah. Okay. The only thing that you need to master in this game is where do the roles go. That's it. Once you master that, you're golden with this game. Yeah. All you have to figure out is where the roles go during the transitions, right? When I'm attacking, where does the inside forward go? Or where does the winger go? How deep does the how deep does the deep line forward drop? Stuff like that. Basically, the movement of all the roles. Once you know how the roles move, it's easy. Then you don't struggle. The problem is when you don't. Yeah. So that's the situation for most players. Yeah. 19 days to the next game. So this goes to show you that I don't play the game behind your backs. And to prove my point, right, this game, total hours played, 441.9 hours. FM24 was about 2,000 hours. FM Football Manager 23, 1,007 hours. Football Manager 22, 2,600 hours. Football Manager 21, 2,490 hours. 2020, 2,000. Usually I average about 2,000 hours. Then here 2005. Here 2,000, 3,000 hours. Holy cow. Football Manager why was 2018 3,000 hours? Holy cow, 3,000 hours. Then 4,000 hours for FM 2017. 16, 1,600 hours. 2015, 1,000 hours. Then 13 to 233. 233 hours. I hated FM13. I couldn't play FM13. I just detested the game. FM12, 23.5 hours. This game, FM12, I remember when he came out, I threw it away. I didn't even touch the game after that. Yeah. 6.2 hours of FM2009. Crack the match engine and stop playing the game. Yeah. I'm like that, no? Most of the time, I probably spent my time on the beta. Yeah. I played the beta. And once I cracked the beta, there was nothing else to do. Because in the old days, at FM29 to 213, right? You could play the game. The game would stop being a challenge, right? By the time the first patch dropped. In fact, I don't recall a time where I ever played Football Manager in November. I was still writing guides, but I never played it. What do you think of Manchester United signings? The real signings are very strong. I already predicted United are gonna finish in the top four, easily top four. Only 400 hours. For Football Manager? This one, yeah, I got more hours in Diablo and no, not Diablo. I got more hours in other games than I do in Football Manager. It's not challenging, Big money. It has to be challenging, this game, but it's not. It's not a challenge at all. It's just there's nothing in this game. Okay, one thing I do like about Football Manager is no two games are the same. But having said that, the goals look like they're the same. So, okay, no two games are the same because they always have there's slight differences in teams and tactics, right? So that's the cool thing. The problem is the goals and the reaction of the audience is the same. So that's one of the reasons why I don't get a kick out of the game. Yeah. They're gonna have a new manager, man. I think they're gonna it's too early to say. It's too early to say. Man City have a very, very fine team. I think with the right manager, they still do quite well. But Pep Guardiola was an innovator. And he was willing to change when he needed to change. And I think that the last 2 seasons for Pep Guardiola are probably the worst seasons he's had to endure because of the drama in his personal life, right? He's not doing well because you know that he had marital issues, right? Family issues, and that plus the stress of being a manager of Man City probably did him no good. And so eventually something had to give, and his marriage gave way, and then now the football is giving way, so he's got to go sort himself out. And I don't think him staying as well would have been good for him or City. Any manager that takes over his position is gonna have a big challenge on his hands, and I do not think that they will struggle because you have to look at that team and the side that they have. That is a very strong team. They've got players of the caliber of Phil Foden sitting on the bench. Look at that team. That team is just stocked with talent. So it's a beautiful thing for Maresca to enter. And I think they will do well. They'll finish in the top 3. They'll be very, very difficult to stop. The good news is they've got Erling Haaland coming back. Now that he's a legendary player, he's got this worldwide following now. He's probably going to attract more fans to follow him at City. But I think City, this is still going to be a very funny season, I think. I think from where I'm sitting, it's very hard to tell who's going to come out on tops because City have a new manager, Liverpool have a new manager, Chelsea have a new manager, Manchester United have a manager, but it's the first time he is going to be installed as a permanent manager. So McCarrick will have some, I don't know, every time they turn that temporary manager into a permanent manager, things don't turn out well. But having said that, United have gone out and made some very strong signings. So they strengthened midfield and they're looking good. And they're also looking to strengthen the defense as well. So United, in front, they don't have to change. They got some of the best players they can get. So United are looking very good. Liverpool are in trouble because Liverpool needed to sign midfielders and they haven't. They needed to sign defenders. They've signed one defender. But still, I don't think they're in a position to challenge because they have got one of the worst fullbacks on the right, in my opinion. I don't like Frimpong. Never have, never will. Say what you want about Jeremy Frimpong. I never liked him. Even when I played Football Manager, I would sell him as a player because I never liked Jeremy Frimpong. He's not that good. He's very overrated. And when he signed for Liverpool, I was like, hell, man, why did we sign Frimpong? I was one of those guys that was so disappointed at the signing of Frimpong. So Liverpool are in trouble because their left back and right back situations aren't ideal. Yes, they got Kirk Katz on the left, right? So he's pretty solid. But that's about it for Liverpool. Yeah. And then up front, they don't have a replacement for Mo Salah. They don't have a lot of pace in front. I mean, they have some pace at the moment, but I still think that they are struggling because the World Cup has come to an end and they're still trying to sign players. I don't know, man. They're going to struggle this year. I don't think they're going to have that issue of being proper. United situation and City situation slightly different. United, City actually rebuilt. See, when Ferguson, the way Ferguson left United is one of the worst things I've seen any manager do, okay? Who are the players that Fergie signed towards the latter half of his career? Retirees and players who are coming back from holiday, that kind of thing. Michael Owen, that kind of thing. I mean, why you sign all the old fogies for? There was no active injection of young blood in that City, that United team. So that by the time the new manager started taking over, it was more a case of you guys go out there and build your own identity, but that never happened. All right, so instead of going the direction of building a team for the future, they started bringing all the retired generals, and trying to do something with them. So things just got spun out of control. The same can't be said about City. City are actually, they've got a lot of very good young players, and they have also been investing in young players. So I think with far as City is concerned, not the same. I think City will be fine. You cannot compare the two. The two terrible. City has got a club that's thinking about the future, and City have got this worldwide youth recruitment policy. So they got a fantastic umbrella company that actually does the scouting for all the City clubs, right? City have got a lot of affiliate clubs, and they have this one organization that does everything for them. And their scouts are, their scouting team is actually sitting across all these clubs. So it's like a Red Bull's team. Right, Red Bull Salzburg, the Red Bull organization, similar organization in Man City, which a lot of people have complained that Man City enjoys too much of an advantage in this arena. United are nowhere near that, so you don't have to compare. There's no comparison between the two. Thoughts on the final was what final? I wasn't even interested. Thoughts final. The problem is the final was the World Cup final, which is supposed to be the best thing that happens. And people are talking about the halftime show. Nobody's talking about the football. 27 minutes for a halftime break. That's got to be a joke. Nottingham Forest playing Sunderland, baby. Let's go. So, if you want to have my opinion, nothing there. No? I was just disappointed. I think there could have been so much more to this World Cup. Unfortunately, the World Cup became... What can I say, right? You can't say anything, no. I mean, people are probably going to be talking about the World Cup for years to come. But they did something that I'm very disappointed. But hey, you know what? Infantino has his way all the time, right? Snooze fest, huh? I mean, all finals are boring. Most finals are boring. I mean, name me one final, World Cup final, which was an epic, like 4-3 clash. Very few. The only one that people can talk about is the one that Brazil lied down flat for Germany. That one doesn't even count. Very few World Cup finals have dazzled. Most of the time it's KG at the end. The semi-finals are usually the best matches. The best matches in the World Cup have always been the semi-finals. Yeah, except for whenever England play. Sorry. England plays so badly in the World Cup semi-final. Tomori and Santos, what are we playing? Oh, we are playing Sunderland, right? Okay, so we are playing away from home. We're playing a 4-2-4 against a 4-2-4, and I'm playing this tactic. Dan Starwood, Chamiti, Bischoff, Ferguson, Williams, Vanderberg, Canestrelli, and Danso. I think Canestrelli is playing in the wrong position. He should be on the right. Danso should be in the middle. I made a mistake. Danso has got a better jumping reach. Canestrelli does not, yeah. I'm going to move them around. Danso plays better in the middle. 1996, see how long ago that was. England versus West Germany. 4-2. Yeah, that was, and you know why that was the best World Cup? England was playing attacking football. The rest of the world was playing defensive football. England came out with a 4-4-2. The rest of the world is still playing with their liberos and their sweeper stopper setup. Like Franz Beckenbauer kind of thing. Yeah. I'm new to FN20. What attributes are needed for a low block? Attributes needed for a low block. Actually, basically, if you're playing a low block system, right, you need very good defenders. Yeah. So if you already got very good defenders, then you're in position. Generally, if you're going to play a low block, you're looking for aggression, anticipation, concentration, jumping reach, positioning, anticipation, and concentration. That's what you're looking for across your entire team, not just for your defenders. And if you can play a low block, then you can play a high press. I hate to say this, yeah. Low blocks are not always successful. If your team is average at going forward, why are you sitting back all the time? So it means you are trying to avoid you're looking for a 0-0 scoreline most of the time. Yeah. So my advice to most people is if you're gonna play a low block, and the other thing about low blocks is, yeah, you see what I mean? You invite people, or they're gonna attack you. Shit. I'm not even playing a low block. I got hit by a mid block. This is so good on this goal. Because my block is quite deep. But you see what has happened? Yeah, here, boom. Nobody is in this zone. Shit. We are sitting too deep. Cannot let. I'm going to catch up with Spurs. Do you find that this year there's a lot of long shots in it? Yeah, the ball was designed for... Have you noticed the ball? Usually before the World Cup, right, what will happen is they're given the ball. They don't know what the ball is like until they come to the World Cup, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think that's how it works. So they are allowed to try the ball. Then when they get there, they're all allowed to try the World Cup ball. Now, what players do is they practice like cracking the shot. Because apparently, right, don't quote me on this, right? There's a rumor where FIFA tells them, we want the ball to fly really well, fast. We want it to, clobber. We want to see these extremely fascinating shots from outside the area. Hey, leave no proof. Thank you. Oh, man, a second goal down. Thank you for the 10 months, man. Thank you for the 10 months. Thank you. Hope you're well, man. So what has happened is because FIFA encourages that. That's what I've heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but I wouldn't put it past them to do something like that. Yeah, why not, right? It's something that makes sense because you want people to come in and watch the World Cup, right? So you go like you want them to be glued to the thing because if you remember some of the best goals in the World Cup come from range. Zico, Roberto Carlos. Remember Roberto Carlos just free kick that went round the bloody wall from like 40 yards out. Like bloody hell, he went around the wall and it was going out. No, then he came all the way back in and he went in. It is for me the greatest goal ever scored at the World Cup, and it's from range. Then you got Zico's goal at the 70. Was it 74 or was it 78? I think Zico's goal at 74 World Cup. That was from outside the area. One rocket, he almost tore the net off. Right, so people remember this, and when people talk about the World Cup, they don't talk about and then Diego Maradona's second goal again, not the hand of God goal, but the second goal that he scored where he dribbled past everybody and he smashed it home. See, that's what they want. So that's one of the reasons why I say the World Cup, the ball is designed, I think, for cracking it from outside the area. So that's why they want to see. They want to see great goals, man. Zico's Roberto Carlos goal, top goal. I think for me, Roberto Carlos ranks as the best goal ever. You find me one goal where the ball bends around the wall from 40 yards out. Like I was watching the ball, I was like, I still remember. I said, hey, and they don't have enough angle. They don't have enough camera angles to show you what a great goal that is. That is like, and he's run up. He sprinted to that ball. The fella is not very big, right? So he sprinted to the ball. Then he unleashed one of the greatest rockets of all time. But Zico's goal was another one. Zico's goal was from, I remember, from outside the area. He smashed that one straight to the roof of the net. Also a great goal. What do you think about the FM26 2D in match view? I think the 2D in match view is okay. I mean, it's meant to be a guide. I'm coming from the experience of a guy that used to play without 2D, So when we have 2D, it's okay. The most important thing about this 2D, the only thing I don't like about 2D, right, is you don't see one bloody dot here. It's supposed to be, in the old days, we had 2 feet, right? Now it's only 1 foot. I mean, what do you expect 2D, right? 2D is just a representation. And it's okay, I guess. It's not ideal, but it's okay. Not the best in the world. 3D. I don't like. I don't like the 3D in this game. I rather the 2D sometimes. Because the reason why I don't like, because I don't want to see the damn 3D audience. Have you ever noticed, okay, once you see it, right, you can't unsee it in the game. You can't unsee it. And nowadays, when I play this game, I cannot watch the 3D anymore. Because I cannot unsee what I see. And I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. Some of you know. If I tell you right now, you're probably going to see the same thing. You're probably going to get damn angry when you play the game. So I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. When Marco and Baston, that was in Euros. Yeah, Marco and Baston's goals in the Euros. That was one of the all-time great goals also. Wow. Believe no pro. You enjoy my football analysis. Thank you very much. You play with a 4-3-3. 4-3-3 cannot be a low block, huh? Yeah. 4-3-3. Sorry. 4-3-3, the problem with a low block 4-3-3 is this, right? Your flanks are always going to be exposed. So you are always allowing teams to get down to your flanks, right? Because your wingers are forward, right? So you're not really a low block. A low block is like a 4-5-1. That's, the definition of a block in football is that you want 2 banks of 4. Not 1 bank of 4 and then 3 in front of him. Then you leave the sides exposed. No, that's not a low block. See, a 4-3-3 cannot be played as a low block. I'm telling you right now, the only low block systems in this game that are successful, right, is a 4-5-1 and a 4-4-2. So you gotta master both. And then you gotta learn how to use trigger press. But not the 4-3-3. 4-3-3 cannot be played as a low block. Yeah. You're just always gonna give up goals because the guy's gonna cut back and then they're gonna have players in the box, yeah. What do you think we Brazilians need to do to regain your leading role in world football? Copy Euro or stick to Brazilian DNA? You need a bit of both. Because the thing about Brazilians is your technical level, or your technical skills on the ball very high. Right? You are the world's masters at controlling the ball. But the problem with the Brazilian team has always been that you have forgotten your own culture. You dropped everything to try and play you're trying to play like possessional football. No? In fact, you all should be playing relativism, right? So you have to switch back to your roots, which is your free flowing football that you do, which is epitomized by some of the clubs that are right now quite successful in South America, where they are playing relation. Their football is not positional at all. It's the opposite of position. There's no fucking positional. Everybody's suddenly on one side of the pitch. No? They got the Escadinias, right? They still have the Escadinias, which is the basic foundation building blocks of South American football, which is the ladder, right? And I incorporate the ladder into all my tactics, which I think is fundamental to great football, because you want to be able to, like, when you're attacking on this side, then if you're attacking this way, you want to lock down this side, right? Then you're attacking this way. So this is the highest point, which is attacking. So you pivot. It's basically Escadinia is essentially a pivot. You're pivoting up this side. Great coaches like Antonio Conte, right? He did it with his 3-5-2 as well. Even Pep Guardiola does it with his tactics as well. They incorporate a bit of the Escadinia and the tactics, but they are still rigid in terms of the positional structure. But whereas in South America, right, the greatest football that you've ever played is unpredictable football, right? But you can maintain that defensive stack that you need to do, right? Which is the shape, and you lose the ball, and then you drop into your disciplined shapes of your 4-4-2s. So I think Brazil can do that. But the problem with Brazil is this, right? Is that your emotion gets I find that the Brazilian team also, the emotion gets the better of them. And then they're not like Spain. Spain doesn't rely on star power. Yeah, you got Lamine Yamal, but they don't build the team around Lamine Yamal. Now, Lamine Yamal is just a bit player in the Spanish team that's very, very talented. Argentina built it all around Messi. The moment Messi was out of the game, Argentina fell apart. Got no football left to be played. They played such a hyper game, Spain, that they couldn't get on the ball. So Brazil Brazil can move the ball around. They've got the talented players, but they just don't have the belief that they can play. I mean, the biggest joke for Brazil is the manager right now. Why did you... Yeah, the current manager. Rodri, I wouldn't say they built the team around Rodri. Yeah, I wouldn't say because you see, every team needs an engine room, right? Every team has got a midfield engine room. So you have to have a midfield engine room, that metronome. Every team has one, right? So you can't say we don't have a metronome. You got to have a metronome in your team. Meaning you have to have a conductor. Meaning he sets the pace, that he links the whole team up, right? Defense to attack. That's what Rodri does. You want to create a tactic, you need to have your link between your defense, midfield, and attack. Okay, Rodri is that. Argentina is not, no. Argentina is midfield and attack only. There's no defense to midfield, no. It's just midfield to attack. And that's where Messi plays. That's why Argentina fell apart. Because they bypassed the whole thing for them. Teams just set up, no. Spain is superb defensively. Most people think that everybody didn't handle Spain. Spain didn't concede a goal all the way until the last semi-finals. Then they conceded a goal. Spain is a very organized team. They're very, very well drilled. A very good team. They didn't change. And they have always been playing the same old system. No, they haven't changed systems. No. Central midfielders need to have jumping reach or acceleration. Central midfielders need aggression, stamina, work rate. Yeah, that's what's most important. Your central midfielders must be able to win the ball. Now, if you want to play a low block, your central midfielders will also have to win the ball in the air. So my advice is to get jumping reach for them. If a 4-3-3 is all vulnerable in the back, shouldn't we just buy the best players at fullback? Still no use. If your 4-3-3 is always vulnerable down the flanks, you buy the best players as fullbacks, you're still creating a 2. See, the problem with 4-3-3 is that it's always going to lead to a 1v2. One fullback versus two offensive players. That's the problem. That's why when you play these tactics, right? You play 4-3-3. Haven't you noticed the best 4-3-3 systems have dropped their the thing is you when you drop that players into the midfield tier, right? So they can double up and from their wall, right? You lose the counter attack. So you if you want to play it on this tact here, so essentially what you'll do is you create something very, very low block. Like this, okay, so let's assume I do something like 4-3-3 like this, right? So I in and out is like this. My in and out is very straightforward. See, I see what I done is I play him as a tracking winger, so he keeps coming back. So they only follow, right? So you have to set it up either like that or you set it up like this. This becomes la pure low block. So they will sit down. So if I do it like this, right, it's a pure low block. Then this guy, when he gets the ball, he becomes a wide outlet and wide outlet. Then they punch forward when they get the ball. But the problem with this is this. When you set that like this, 4-3-3s, they will, when you lose the ball, they cannot play counter press, right? They have to come back and defend first. So they can do defensive positions. So when you lose the ball, they have to come back into these defensive positions, which means that your out of possession shape has to be a lower defensive line, not a high defensive line. So if I wanted to play a high defensive line, I'm playing the opposition third, then I will play like this. Then I don't play with that low block. I go tracking winger. So in this particular setup, it's very different, right? So here, if I lose the ball, these guys are sitting in the final third, right? So because they're sitting in the final third, they can carry on applying pressure. And then they apply pressure, and then when I lose the ball, they will drop as tracking wingers. Right? They come and support this side as these two guys do the press. So he will press here. This pressing central midfielders will control this zone and control this zone and control in front. So this their work rate is very important. So he only becomes a screening midfielder. I can play this. I'll show you what I mean. But if you play a low block with a 4-3-3, not advisable. I don't advise a low block 4-3-3. Smaller teams, but the thing is right, you look at a 4-3-3 and you think that's how, but you have to look at the defense. See, the thing is, people who watch football see a formation and they go, that's a 4-3-3. Coaches and players, they don't think like you or me, you know. They don't go, we are playing a 4-3-3. No. They are given jobs to do. So, yeah, your job is to come back into the final third and defend. Your job is to stay forward and to wait for the release of the ball so that you can release the player. That's it. That's how they work. That's how they think. Okay, so now when you look at the game, the problem is we have to put things into boxes so we can sell a game. They can sell a game, right? So you have to start thinking, whenever you watch any game in real life, what you've got to do is you got to see when they lose the ball, what do the fullbacks do immediately? That's what you have to pay attention to. Where are the fullbacks? Where are the wingers? So if you see the winger pressing, all right, then when do they stop pressing and run back? Because they will also do that. They will not just press for the sake of pressing. No. If you look at a lot of teams, right, the wingers don't go in there and press. What do? They track. So what they do is they go in, they don't press, they don't chase. You see, my definition of press, right, a lot of people, football manager, is I want to chase after the player to get the ball off him. No. A lot of teams, what they do is they just close the passing lane, they track the player, they close his passing lane down, and they force him to bring the ball forward and then play the pass inside where they're marking players. So you got to be very careful. I wasn't watching enough of the games to say I know what Spain was playing. Yeah. I cannot say for a fact what Spain was playing. Because I wasn't really paying attention to what Spain was doing in the World Cup. This World Cup, this World Cup was a streaming World Cup, right? So the problem with streaming World Cups is I can't record the games. I cannot watch the whole game. Hey, Whiplash, thanks for the 36 months at T3, man, tier 3. Thank you very, very much. Welcome. Hey, I would love to, but I didn't watch enough of the World Cup. Yeah, so I didn't record any of the matches as well. And it's very tough for me to go, oh, this is how they played. No? Yeah. I want to be able to say it without reservation. So we're going to play a 4-3-3 for fun. For fun. I think I got Stavo back and Endoye, so we can play 4-3-3 again. I prefer a 4-3-3. Nottingham Forest, Malmo, let's go. So like, okay, so you gotta, like in real life, right? Do you see them doing this? See it? You gotta look at where he is, no? Like in this, well, of course, I'm not playing in key. I'm playing. Actually, you should watch it on comprehensive. Four three threes can be very good, but don't play low block. And then how deep do they go, right? To defend. My team defends here, no? Around here. You will just watch, huh? Brown. Oh, nice. Why is he so jerky? I don't know what's wrong with this game and all this. Okay. Could it be because I've got other games playing in the background? What are we doing on this save? Oh, Whiplash, welcome to the save, man. So basically, I am a manager who has got no transfer powers. So I have to accept whatever the bot gives me. And I have to make a tactic based around the players that the bot has signed for me. See, tracking. He just tracks the target. This guy holds his position. So we got serious banks or defenders. And we got human managers like Tiki Press and God Spurs and Spurs fan who have their teams. And they have the power to transfer players. I don't. I only have the power to play tactics and choose my first 11. So but if I catch any of those teams, they lose their transfer powers immediately. Ndoye, Bischoff shoots. Oh God, we are putting pressure. So this is an attacking 4-3-3. 4-3-3 is right. If you can say the opposition third, very strong. Then you just move them around. So EM cutting to the middle. Wait. Are we playing with no, we're not playing with the libero setup, right? So that's fine. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna come inside here. Since we're putting so much pressure on the opposition, okay, I'm gonna work ball into box and go low because we have no problems right now. Right, the opposition are sitting back and defending. So let's give them more pressure. What did you think of the Portugal team in the World Cup? Young, talented team. With some players who should have retired a long time ago. But still, I felt sorry for Portugal. They got some very good talented players that should be leading the team now. Yeah. I don't think the manager is also quite crappy. True. I think the problem that the Portuguese team is some players are too. Here, I have this philosophy. Once a player becomes too big, he shouldn't be playing for the club anymore, playing for the nation anymore. Yeah. That's my personal belief, Yeah, but the problem is the money also plays a part. I think some of these teams, right, they got no say, Like, the federation has no choice, right? Hey, if we don't play him next season, FIFA, we're not gonna get sponsored by this Umbro or whatever. How can he play this bad? The PSG double Champions League winning with Bruno Fernandes. Yeah. They had a very good team. Portugal had a very good team, no? I was very shocked they did it, but I never expected them to lift the title. Okay, that's for sure. I don't expect them to. Okay, but I didn't expect them to be that bad. Yeah. Okay, 29 minutes in. Okay, we're controlling this game. All right, it's our game already. We're not going to lose this game. Was I impressed with Norway? Of course. Who wasn't impressed with Norway? Norway was a great team. Yeah, unfortunately, not enough. They don't have enough, but they did well. Unfortunately for them. They played really well on Norway. They're heroes. They go back now. This is the best. First time World Cup, right? Norway. First time, no? World Cup. And they got quarters. I mean, look at Cape Verde as well. They also did well. Cabo Verde, right? So quite a number of teams have done very well. They bought players for money and sponsors. Yeah, it's always going to be that case. That's why they got players like Neymar in the team. They got Neymar in the team. They got Ronaldo in the team. Yeah. And then sometimes I think Gianni Infantino probably picks out the phone and says, you better bring Neymar and you all have to bring Ronaldo to the World Cup, okay? Because we got a lot of money. Advertisers want to have photo opportunities. Because all these players they've got their commitments, sponsor commitments at the World Cup itself. They got all these shindigs that they go and attend as well. Is there any chance Italy can be back next? No. Italy is in the doldrums. Italy is in terrible trouble for the next couple of years. Right, Italy is they don't have a striker at the moment. They don't have a strike force. Italy is in trouble. The whole game needs to have a reset now. Hey, another team that's in trouble is Holland, Netherlands, But Netherlands, for the small population size, I mean, they have done relatively well at the World Cup. But for the reputation of the Dutch, their reputation, they should have done better. England, a bit. I'm very disappointed in England. Very disappointed. The semi-finals, I was like, throw away the tea. I don't know. I actually watched the semi-finals, right? Because streaming, right? So I stayed up at 3 o'clock in the morning just to watch the damn game. I was so pissed watching England play. I went like, why the fuck am I watching them, man? This is typical England, For no rhyme or reason, right? After scoring the first goal, after England takes the lead, right? England decide to go defensive. What the hell? Like, they became so passive and defensive. And then the argument that Tuchel was saying that, I had to make the changes because they were passive. You made the changes long before they went passive, huh? Long before they went passive, you already made those changes. Yeah, Tuchel went defensive, for fuck. I was like, why? You think that's going to be enough? You want to sit back against Argentina? The team that can clobber a ball. I mean, where does he... I mean, it doesn't take a person with more than one brain cell to figure this out, okay? All right? This World Cup, everybody is striking from range. Every World Cup is the same. Everybody will have to strike from range, right? Okay? And in that team, they got a player called Enzo Fernandez, who loves to hit it from outside the area. And I was worried, the moment England sat back, right, I said, you're fucked. Because Enzo Fernandez you're going to give Enzo Fernandez space. He's going to take the space. And I guarantee you, the first one doesn't go into the back of the net, the second one will. That is exactly what happened. Enzo Fernandez came, saw, shot, goal. Boom. What can I say, man? What's wrong with England? England became so stupid passive. Dumb. Sometimes I wonder, I mean, like... And then England's celebrated they celebrated too soon as well. I mean, look, the thing about the English team is you expect them to get to the semi-finals, right? Why did they celebrate like they won the damn World Cup after winning their quarter-final game against Egypt? Would England? No, England didn't play Egypt. Argentina played Egypt. But I felt that game was crocked as well. Yeah, there was a bit of dirtiness. I mean, I look. When Messi steps on a player's foot, it's not a foul. When another player steps on, when an Argentinian player when Messi steps on an Egyptian's foot, it's not a foul. But when an Egyptian steps on another Messi's foot, it's a foul. What the hell, man? The goal that they disallowed, right, was a fair goal. I mean, Messi stepped on his foot, man, for heaven's sakes. What attributes do you recommend for wingers and a striker for low block? If you want to play a low block, right, you better have height on the counter, acceleration, jumping reach, and pace and crossing. Because you're depending on one goal wonders. One guy to go out and have beat everybody with dribbling and get the ball into the net, or dribbling and arrive and score a goal. Argentina had one shot on goal before they decided to go low block. Yeah, exactly. Because England were putting so much pressure on Argentina. Argentina couldn't play. Because Argentina cannot play a high-paced game. They cannot. Look at what Egypt did. Any team that brings the game to Argentina, Argentina is in trouble. Right. Only team that Argentina struggled was the best defensive team was Cabo Verde, because they were very good interceptions. They were physically very, very capable of winning the ball in the air and putting the Great Wall of Cabo Verde in front of them. And let's just face it as well. At that stage in the competition, nobody wants to push themselves. They already got their points, right? So who needs a win over Cabo Verde if we can get a win somewhere else? Yeah, but England were just phenomenally bad. They don't deserve. I mean, honestly, right, I was quite pissed off, the semi-finals. Too much hype. I think, because I think England were unlucky in Nico Williams. But I also think that the problem for England was essentially, right, the lack of self-belief. But some could argue that it's because England were taken, they were tired, but I don't think that's enough of an argument. I mean, look at the World Cup. They got hydration breaks, 27-minute half times. Players are not tired. They should be able to run like crazy, man. Would you fire Tuchel? Why would you fire somebody who took the team to the semi-finals? Yeah. So problem is that's what they'll do. I would fire Tuchel on the spot. Because and hire Jurgen Klopp. I mean, you cannot have a team sit back. Because if Jurgen Klopp manages Germany and they play England, who do you think is going to win? Germany? Because England will not be able to handle Germany. Because they'll be coming at them like a choo-choo train. England hates teams that come at them. Great, England can hit on counter. You got Bukayo Saka. England is built for the counter attacks. Yeah. If you look at the way England was set up, right? It is World Cup. They were built for the counter attack. That whole team is a counter attacking team. It's not a price open and defensive team, meaning we go attack and then we price open. This English team is a counter attacking team. So when they went to the World Cup, it was all to counter attack. So when they faced up to Argentina, they said, okay, fine. Now, guys, we are built for the counter. Let's sit back and hit them on the counter. Unfortunately, counter attacking football, I've said it many times before, is a very dangerous game to play. Very dangerous game to play. Because you're going to draw them in, right? You're going to draw them in and you're going to give them the ball at the halfway point. But if they can bring the ball from the halfway point in front of your third, you're in trouble. Because you got to win the ball before they get into your final third. Yeah. But England was not. England was letting them come all the way to the final third and take pot shots. So, yeah. Bellingham needs a striker like Kane. No, that's the way Bellingham shone at Real Madrid was. Right? Because in Real Madrid, Bellingham's star was was at the start, right, it was quite nice. Bellingham was doing this off the running, before Kylian Mbappe came, right? So Bellingham was actually having a really good time in Real Madrid because he was playing off the strikers. So he was getting into the area and scoring goals. So Bellingham became the superstar. Then Kylian Mbappe came and Bellingham's star faded away because the tactics had to change because of Mr. Kylian Mbappe. And that's when everything fell apart for him. But when he played for England, they played Harry Kane off him, right? So he became a star again. So now, he's coming off and scoring goals because Bellingham is one, a better version of Frank Lampard. Can we say that? Comes close, huh? The attacking midfielder coming in to score goals, the kind of thing. Yeah. No, they won't. No, Kane is there, but the next World Cup, Kane can still play. Right? He's only 28. People forget. Is it because Kane looks damn old? Is it? Kane has still got one World Cup in him, right? Yeah, I don't think Kane is that old, no? People always, I don't know why people think Kane is that old. Kane is okay, right? Doesn't he have he has another World Cup, at least Euros, I want England to win the England hasn't won the Euros, right? Have they won the Euros? I don't think so, right? The World Cup. Did they win the Euros? No, right? England has not won the Euros. Kane is 32. Oh, I thought it was 28. Yeah, sorry. He's 32. I thought it was 28. I'm still thinking in terms of Football Manager. Oh, yeah, he's 32. Thank you and a hug from Portugal. Hey, Portugal. Portuguese player. The Portuguese team, I felt damn sad for the Portuguese team. I thought the Portuguese team should have done a lot better. But when you build a tactic around like has-beens, honestly, I think, no. Look, I don't want to take anything away from Ronaldo. I think Cristiano Ronaldo has achieved a lot, okay? But his greatest moment was in the Euros when Portugal won the Euros. That was it. That was when his star was the brightest, okay? He was at his peak, right? But that was about it. That was it. After that, I think as a matter of fact, I think at the end of the day, hey, Tiki Press's team, his team is on top of me, Wow. They want to beat me, man. Oh my God. I gotta pay. This is human. There's Tiki Press's team trying to. Oh, great football. They got behind me again. Alright, I know what to do. We're gonna change our tactic. Boom. Ding. Fujita, Beraldo, Vanderberg. Okay, come here. Brown here. Bischoff, Ferguson, McAtee, and Doye, Chumtiti. Okay. Combine. Fujita will come here. Okay. Let's go. We got no choice. I gotta change tactics. When I play Fujita on the right, I have to change my tactic. I gotta go into that pocket that they have. Try and make it harder. Bruno Fernandes, no, he's not. You cannot blame Bruno Fernandes. Cannot blame Bruno Fernandes. You gotta blame the manager. You cannot blame players when the manager sucks. Okay, the manager is the one that up Bruno Fernandes. Yeah. Because the player can only do what the manager wants him to do in the system that he's playing in and with the players that he's been asked to play with. That's it. That's what can the player do. It's not his fault. Yeah. You cannot blame a player. World Cup, you have to always blame the manager. You cannot, oh my God, second goal. He signed up all the players with height and jumping reach. I cannot beat this team. This team is too strong. Yeah, you cannot blame the player. Bruno Fernandes is not fair. The player that is the one that has to be blamed is the manager all the time. DM, FPFB, going forward. He's coming, he's giving me space on the flanks. Alright, we're gonna put Endoy here. I gotta commit to this. Stavo, Makati, and then we're gonna bring Denso for Fujita. Okay, alright. 2 changes. Before halftime, we'll make 2 changes. I gotta get 1 goal before halftime. Why are we using channel 4? They drop. Why use channel 4? They drop. Channel 4s? Yeah, let them be. Depends on the tactic I'm using. Yeah. Sometimes I want the channel 4 to drop to support play, especially with a better team. Then I want them, because channel 4 is a drop to support, especially if I'm playing against a better team, right? Then if I'm playing against a weaker team, I play center forwards. Because this tactic is very attacking already. Yeah. The counter attacks are very fast. See what I mean? One end to the other end. Yeah. I go from a deeper position, right? They will be drawn higher. Right. So if I'm deeper, they come up higher. So I get more space behind them. Instead of me being so high up, then their fullbacks also are going to stay relatively close to me, right? So I give myself more space. Nottingham Forest 1. We're back in this, man. Come on, Fortan. We managed to level the game. We had to make a tactical change. I cannot play a 4-3-3. Because they are a better team, asking for trouble. So I switched to one that I got a back 5. That will give their tactics some headaches. So this way I can get more players in the final third. Oh my God, we almost got one in. Chamiti. The ball was a great crosser. Okay, 1-1 at the break. We made the change at the right time. So it's level. So Liverpool 57%. We only had 3 shots, 5 shots versus their 18 shots. I love this. Okay, we need more possession second half. Okay, come on, boys. Chimiti, Louis Ferguson, out of Denso. No, because okay. Because you see, Channel 4, and this is not Channel 4, these are centre forwards. Vanderberg, come on. Ferguson, oh, come on, send him off, ref. Neves stuck out his leg. He's looking to break my players there. Bischoff. Back on the net. Ooh, keeper made a save. Alright, maybe later, after I settle the kids, come back and I'll play Diablo 4. How's that for a plan, guys? We'll talk about the World Cup, You all hang out. Hey, does anybody here know how to play Diablo 4? I need your help. I've got absolutely no clue what I'm doing in the game. I have no clue what I'm doing in Diablo 4, okay? After our stream later, I have no clue what I'm doing. I mean, I'm in Torment 5. I have not played Diablo in so long. Help me play Diablo 4. Y'all come, help me play. Advise me. Be my advisors. Teach me the wonderful things about Diablo. I mean, the idea of damage numbers, and then I can calculate in my head. Yeah. Oh, and Nawari. No, good defending. Good. Don't overcommit. Nico pass. Okay, good. I don't think we should be. Now I want to keep the ball a bit more positive. I don't want to go direct anymore. Just with attacking, I'll be very, very direct on my balls. Positive, there'll be shorter passes. Okay, now we make changes because we got issue down the both flanks. But you see, my fullback situation is not very good. Look at that. Oh, we have a problem. It's called we don't have fullbacks. We don't. I wanted to go and pick a fullback out and look at my bench and I went like, I got no more fullbacks. I got no fullbacks. Oh my god, I got no fullbacks. Yeah, because they sold my backup fullbacks. The bot sold all. Every 2 seasons, the bot will sell off my players. Okay, did it. Nottingham Forest 1, Liverpool 1. Come on, Williams. Don't Williams. You look like giving the ball away to your opposition. Why? No. Okay. You're expecting Bruno Fernandes to be much. It's not a question of the player. No. He had a very good season, right? But why is it that some players have great seasons and then when they go and play for the national team, they play like dog shit? It's not because of the player. It's because of the manager and the tactical system he wants them to play. That's the reason why. You can't blame the player. Yeah, we managed to. Liverpool could not beat us. Spurs are 1 point behind Liverpool. And I got Spurs and Liverpool in my sights. I'm telling you right now. Okay, so looking at the table right now, Aston Villa beat Burnley. Brighton drew against Bournemouth. Brighton, you better get your act together, man. 8 points. 13, we are 13. Liverpool 7 points ahead of us, and Spurs are 6 points ahead of us. Brighton 1-1, Crystal Palace, Everton 1-1 against City, Fulham 1-1 against Sunderland, United beat Chelsea, Newcastle drew against Brentford, Liverpool and Spurs beat Hull 2-0. Good result for Spurs. Yeah. Play winger as fullbacks. I wanted to. I was toying with the idea, of wingers, but I don't have enough wingers also. It's not like I got a lot of wingers in my team. Yeah, I remember who I actually retrained Ndoye with. See that? This guy is a wingback. I trained him as a wingback. I was that desperate to have him play as a wingback because I got nobody else. Yeah, his position is 9. So sometimes I use him as a wingback, if push comes to shove. But because we started the game with Endor, I couldn't use him. Then I got this guy also, Wachon. And then we got this guy, Salvador. They're not ready for the big time. Yeah, but I have to play them. So we have to put them on the pitch when we have to. But we're not going to use a 4-3-3 because I'm an underdog. As an underdog, I will never play 4-3-3. I don't play the 4-3-3. I don't like playing the 4-3-3 as an underdog. That's my nature. I rather play something that's like this, no, which is okay, we defend as a 5. Like, so these guys will come back, right? So I got 5 here, and these two guys will form a 4, and I got 5-4-1, right? Out of possession because I got 5-4-1. But you see, the thing is, this is a pressing back. So you know, really only need 3 to defend, right? So these guys are doing a squeeze on the flank. So they're using the wingers as their partners in crime. So we do a complete squeeze, which explains why we can win a few matches. Yeah. We do okay. Yeah. So Endoi cannot play this game. So we put that. No, we hold on. We first up we come in here. And then we clear this slot. I don't like to have too many slots. I was just using that to explain to you. Quick pick. Okay, we put that in. And then Endoi is on the bench. There we go. Okay, Garcia, Chico, the Biko. I don't think we need another striker with Dan's there. So what we need is another fullback. We got Salvador, Dali. And then we got Wachon. We bring Wachon with us. Okay, we got left back and we got a potential right back. Okay, so that's our options right now. And then we got Haddock. Haddock is another youngster that's coming through. Okay. All right, let's go. So easy. This game, fundamentally, not difficult. Not difficult. The thing about in and out possession, right, is how do you see when I create a counter-attacking tactic, right? I know it's very counterintuitive. But it makes sense. It's fun, to do it this way. So I look at out of possession, right, where my players are going to be when I don't have the ball. So they are sitting in these positions when I don't have the ball, meaning they're sitting on the face of the fullbacks. Right? But when I get the ball back, they push up behind the fullback now. So that means that defensively they are in front of the fullback. But the moment I win the ball, they switch forward. They go even further up. So that's how I play the game. Yeah. Then the two midfielders, they kind of like pull back. No? So as they shoot up, right, the two midfielders will drop back. So they form a more compact shape out of possession when we have the ball. So they form that compactness in the center, the midfield, and with the three defenders. So 3 defenders and the 2 midfielders will become a compact 5 as the wing backs join the attack. So it's quite different. Direct football has always been the preferred. For longest time, Football Manager, direct football was always the best. Structured, we used to call it structured shapes, right? Back in the day when we had philosophies, it was structured philosophy, and then in Football Manager as well, any kind of a tactic which has had very quick transitions will be the one that you want to build. So always anything, and then that requires you to play direct football. Carabao Cup, 4th round. Let's go. Today we play Brentford. Man, we are in the Conference League. We are hunting down Liverpool and the rest near the top of the table. That's good. Okay. All right, we got Barreiro, Williams, Brown, Denso. Vandenberg cannot play here. Denso will play in the center. Okay, there we go. Something is wrong with tactic. Denso, in possession, Denso should be here. Okay, Denso is in the middle now. Out of possession, Denso should be here. Correct. Okay, all right. Stavo shouldn't be here. Stavo is playing. Okay, no, we put combine. Stavo should be here. I like Stavo on the flanks. You can play McAtee in attack, but Jayden Dance has not scored many goals. Look at that, 0 goals scored so far. The guy who scored the most goals is Chermiti. So Chermiti go forward. Yeah, Jayden Dance, for all the starts I gave him, the bugger has not scored anything for me. Okay, we're gonna give this Brentford, right? Carabao Cup win. Let's go, let's go. Treat the Carabao Cup with some respect. I'm a fan of defenders. So how would you create? I don't disagree with you, man. Boy, I play a low block, Kuku Michael. Why do you think I hate you? I love defensive tactics. I think defensive tactics are very viable in Football Manager. Look at my tactic: cautious. Was it? Was it out of possession? Mid block. What's wrong? Defensive tactics are the best. Yeah. The problem people have with making defensive tactics and getting it wrong is because they think of mentality is defensive tactics. No, it's not. Mentality is just risk, right? So you want the ball to go from back to front really quickly, you're always playing on either cautious or attacking mentality. One is more risk, the other is less risk. And the fact is mentality affects 6 sliders in the game, right? So you want to remember that at all times when you play this game. So whenever you shift your mentality, you're shifting 5 other things in the game to move up with it. So that's how mentality works. So if you want to create a defensive tactic, it's a question of how high up the pitch do you want your players to support play. That's where your defensive line comes in. So that's how you set up. And you can with a 4-4-2. You're setting it up to have like a standard defensive line or low defensive line, and then you decide where you want the block to be. Now, people say you have to play a low block. Yeah, okay, low block is fine, but low block also means that your players are sitting here to defend, right? So you're sitting in that shape. And then when you win the ball back, where do you want the players to be? So you have to flip, no, your defensive and your in possession or possession shape. So in possession, you are actually a 4-2-4. Out of possession, you're actually a 4-4-2. Yeah. So you want to be out of possession, you want them to drop and hold their positions, right? So you don't want to have you want the players to hold their position instead of press, because if they press, they open up, right? Then your banks become bloody, I don't know, deluge of water is going to run through, like you're flooding like crazy. That kind of shit. I can't even come up with a bloody thing that makes sense. But yeah. So you don't want trigger press like maximum. You want trigger press to be standard or lower. So I normally play on standard trigger press or lower. What the heck? Why they show the goalkeeper only? All the bugs of the game. So your trigger press is standard. You can play like in possession of 4-4-2 and then out of possession with double DMs. And then out of possession, you push the 2 DMs high up the pitch, right? So when you win the ball, you're basically telling your players, hey, when we win the ball, I want you to be taking up a bit of a more aggressive positions, right? So that's how you set up. So you think about that, how to set up your aggressive shape. So like me, in possession, I'm actually, look at me, right? This is my in possession shape. I'm playing 2 roles called the advanced wing backs because I know when we win the ball, these guys are going to be here. Because they're going to play like wingers. So what I have is actually a 5-5. The 3 here, 2 here. These guys are box to box. So they have to bust the guy and get up the pitch. When I'm out of possession, I'm playing this. I want to do a squeeze. I want these guys to squeeze their fullback, and I want them to squeeze the pressure on the flanks. And these 2 guys just screen the center. So you're going to have to come up with your own style. But your style, how good your style is going to be will depend on things like, what is it? For example, your trigger press. If your trigger press is all over the shop, you're in trouble. Because defensive low block tactics can work in Football Manager. They work very, very well, in fact. Yeah. They're very, very good. Defensive tactics work very well in Football Manager. I play mid blocks. I play a lot of mid block tactics. Which are quite defensive. I draw better teams in and hit them on the break. I think there was one day, on the stream, right? I was playing against a very good team and the final score was like 4-3. Because every time they attack me, right, I hit them on the counter. Every time they attack, I win the ball, hit them on the counter. Because I knew, right, that I can't control the ball in their third. Yeah, I needed a lot of space. So like this, see, we win the ball and immediately we switch. Look at that. The 3 players are in front already. And you remember that if you play on cautious mentalities or low mentalities, right? You have what is called the AI generated counterattacks, right? So AI generated counterattacks, everybody is high, maxed out mentalities. So imagine if your roles are already sitting in those attacking positions. Food for thought. So I invite teams to attack me, and then after that, I'm waiting for the counter. So that it's very, very easy to make. Yeah. But it's very, very fun. So go ahead and make. Like Diego Simeone is 4-4-2 is quite straightforward. But you set it up as a 4-2-4 in possession, and out of in possession is like a 4-2-4. Or you decide which one of the wingers you want them to be attacking forward. Who do you want like high up the pitch? Yeah. Um Is Tageman any good for now? Tageman has been decent about this game. Always, he's been all the defensive. The Tageman role has been good. I played Tageman poacher, Tageman center forward, Tageman channel forward. Yeah, Tageman is good in Football Manager. But this is channel forward. No, I'm not playing channel forward. So if I play channel forward, they'll behave differently in this game, right? If I play CFD, right? If I play channel forward, it'll be a different style of football. Now I'm just going to sit back even more and hit on the counter. Do you think Simeone 4-4-2 would tuck the wingers into the AM position, IP there so narrow? Does he do that? Yeah, can watch. No, the thing is this, right? I don't think this game is very good at replicating real tactics. Yeah, it's not that good. It's not that good. I disagree with anybody who tells me this game is very good at replicating real tactics. I say bullshit, it's not. Okay. The reason why is because all the out of possession shapes depend, they throw the whole defensive side of the game out the window. What teams are doing in real life. No? Yeah. So there's no like zone, they don't have these marking, different hybrid marking systems, like zonal and man marking. I would like a game that has got more hybrid marking systems. Like I can decide in this phase I want to be man marking, in this phase I want to be zonal marking, right? So that would be much more better in terms of how we do things. But the game doesn't give us that. What the hell? Brentford came back. Damn it! No, I'm talk. Not even paying attention to the game. A narrow four. What do you mean by a narrow 4-4-2 IP? Narrow, you see, narrow is what? The attacking width. Narrow just means, okay, the problem with playing narrow is this. If you play a narrow system, right, for a counter-attacking system, it's not always a good idea. Because every time the wingers, the defenders get the ball, they pass it to the wingbacks, and the wingbacks get the ball, they pass it back to the midfielders, no? So you're not going to get a very direct attacking style. You're going to get a wall passing system. So you're getting what is called like a fluid counter-attacking system, where the whole team has to move up. Okay? So that you see, most people don't understand the role of width in this game. Right? When they play this game, they think, "Oh, I have to play narrow because it's a meta bullshit." You don't understand. You don't understand you don't understand width. That's all these people are. There's a reason why narrow is very, very strong in Football Manager, because narrow works very well with counter pressing. So you need a narrow attacking system, because you need to be in the narrow shape in your defending too, because the width in Football Manager affects you in the defensive and attacking transition. So my advice is to play on standard width if you want to create a counter-attacking system. Never play on narrow. Right. I play, let me see my width. I don't know about my width. I say mine is standard. I will not go lower than this, no. Because if I go lower than this, my ball may not, at least here, there's still a bit of TikTok, I need the ball to go in and then go out, right? So I need the ball to go in and then go out. I don't want the ball to go out straight away. Like, I need these guys involved to link up play. So it's a 1, 2, 3. That's it. That's all I need. And then 4. But if I play like, and this tactic doesn't suit anything else like standard. So width is a very important consideration in Football Manager when you make tactics. Yeah. What kind of tactic do you have? What's your, it's a bit, affects a few things. Okay, we're gonna have to take off these two jokers. Put on Wachan. Change his name. Wachan. Put this guy on. Put Fujita on. And see what happens. I've got a few minutes. If we lose the game, we lose the game. I hope we don't go to extra time. 2 DM and 2 AMs. 2 DMs, 2 AMs. Oh, narrow. Oh, that's not counter-attacking. Yeah. That's not a low block. See, you can't play. Okay, this is the part where people don't understand low blocks. Low blocks, every time coaches do blocks, right? They do a block, is a defensive block can only be in 2 shapes in football. Okay, is it a 4-4-2, 4-5-1, or 5-4-1? That's it. These are your blocks. These are what all coaches do. They don't play a defensive block, which is 4 and 2, and then everybody else in front. No, don't have. What happened to the flanks? Yeah. You want to make a realistic tactic, make a realistic tactic. But even Diego Simeone would never do that. Yeah, because you have to look at the shape of the team when they're in their half. That's what you gotta do, and that is only OP systems. Yeah, no. Do you think FM27 will be a good one? No, I don't know, man. I'm not very positive for FM27. I think FM27 is still gonna be garbage. Yeah. Because FM26 is garbage, right? Yeah, this game, I won't say it's garbage. Technically, the match engine is there for me. I mean, match engine still has got issues. Still has got, I won't say the match engine is like perfect, but it's still an improvement from last year. Okay, that's where I come from. They still have bugs, but it's an improvement from last year. The rest of the game, the UI interface is terrible, trading is non-existent, and I don't like that about the game. Yeah. But I definitely like tactics. I like making tactics still the same. Yeah. For me, right, when I see a formation right now in the game, their AI is using, I know how to react if I have the players for it. Yeah. So, and more often than not, I get it right. I didn't buy in-game, but why would you want to buy in-game editor for a game that nobody's don't like Kimpy, don't buy in-game editor. Yeah, I don't buy. This year I don't know. FM27, last year I pre-ordered. This year I'm not pre-ordering. No way. Wait for the game to come first. I will never pre-order now. Yeah. I don't think anybody should pre-order. Don't pre-order the game. Do not pre-order the game. Yeah. Please do not pre-order the game. Don't tell me I'm pre-ordering the game on a hope, and then after when the game comes out, you complain about the game. Don't do that. That is my personal philosophy. You pre-order the game, don't complain about the game after you buy it. I give you an example. I have a game right now that I have not played. I paid $500 for the game, 500 USD. Right? Because I wanted to be, I supported the development team and I want them to, Ashes of Creation. That's the game. Okay. I haven't played the game. I haven't seen the game yet. Apparently he's in beta, flying for beta for the last 4 years. And I feel like that's the biggest ultimate con job of all time. Yeah. Because there was a problem with the developers and all that. 4 years beta. Ashes of Creation. I think, let me just go and do a search. I will do, let's do Gemini search. Okay, Gemini. Okay. Discuss the drama and the controversy surrounding the crowdfunded game Ashes of Creation. Discuss the drama and the controversies surrounding the crowdfunded game Ashes of Creation. Okay, that's I don't know. You can just throwing in and see what they come up with. There. In a pile of federal losses. I am one of those guys that contributed money for this game. Yeah. Ashes of Creation is the biggest con job of all time. Yeah. So basically what happened was, right, from the very beginning, he raised eyebrows to his creator, Stephen Sharif. Sharif was a wealthy entrepreneur who made his fortune in multi-level MLM marketing companies like Jonas Global. A decade in global, a $500 alpha test. Intrepid Studios sold dynamic monthly cosmetic packs and charged upwards of $500 just for players to get access to early alpha testing. I was there. Yeah. Then something happened in the game. The moment this one happened, there are allegations of massive fraud. I will never, ever, ever do this again. I paid a lot of money for this game. Yeah. Chara put virtually zero of his own money into the account. He said he allegedly took out millions of dollars in predatory loans against Intrepid Studios and said to sustain the project while pocketing investor money. Okay, internal accounts of the company fell to severe debt. Outside financial buyers stepped in, stripped Sharif of his solo director, could attempted restructuring to save the game. Out of spite and refusal to lose control, Sharif allegedly went around the board, claimed the game's Steam revenue directly from Valve and quit in protest, effectively freezing payroll and forcing the entire studio to go under. So this guy destroyed the game. It's dead. It's dead. It's dead. Yeah. I'm one of those guys, no, that actually was. From now on, I don't wanna, don't support I'm telling everybody right now, okay, I am once bitten, twice shy. Okay, do not support studios with your money. So don't fall into the trap of being an early bird. Mm. What you want to buy FM26 because of pre-release beta, all the years of enjoyment. Now look at now, don't complain. No, if you are one of those guys that is going to do that for FM27 and the game turns out to be crap, don't complain, don't cry. Yeah, don't complain. I will not entertain it. Who told you to go and put money down? I already I lost money to Ashes of Creation. I was so angry. Yeah. I thought it was potentially a good game, no. Then I actually tried it out for a while. I thought it was okay, not bad. No. But the moment the game started this cosmetic nonsense, I thought something is wrong. Because that's when I realized I threw away the money and I don't want to see it again. Yeah. That's when I realized something was wrong. Because they started this nonsense about you buying more stuff. And the game was still in beta. So I was thinking, why the fuck if the game is in beta, why do you want us to keep buying things for the game? I thought you want us to try out the features of the game, right? Yeah. Park the Bus never worked ever. The problem is the problem with Park the Bus is this, right? Park the Bus isn't something that you do for 90 minutes. Park the Bus is only something you do for 10 minutes. See, strategies in football aren't about 90-minute strategies. Okay, this is the thing that we have to understand. Most coaches, they will raise the tempo and lower the tempo of a game depending on the situation in the game, right? So Park the Bus can work if you are in the last 10 minutes of the game and you want to defend. Yes, then Park the Bus is a valid strategy, right? But how do you set it up? So for 10 minutes, that you do. And you will see me doing that a lot in my games, right? I do a lot of Park the Bus. I do a lot of keep the ball away from the opposition, that kind of thing. There are a lot of ways of doing this in the game of Football Manager. And you don't always need to use like a Park the Bus strategy. All you need to do is choose the right team instructions to get that doing. Like, for example, whole shape is a brilliant way for you to keep the ball away from the opposition. Okay, we're in trouble now because all Bournemouth doing are coming at me. And all I'm doing is defending. So what we're going to do is check out their formation right now. I don't know what they're playing. They're playing a 4-2-3-1. Then. Defend. They play quite well. I'm being hammered down the left and the right flank. I cannot keep the ball. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep the ball. See, this cautious style is very attacking. So we're going to go to positive. The passes are very long. So when I play positive, the passes will be shorter, hopefully. Okay. Oh, they got a goal. It was offside. In real world, like World Cup final, England match. Yeah, but England was playing the shittiest. Yeah, Park the Bus doesn't work even in real life. Right? Yeah. Because I've always said this, right? If you go into Park the Bus for like after you scored a one goal and you decide to sit back, what are you doing? You're allowing the opposition to bring the game to you. And then you're going to have to suffer with, they might be taking shots from outside the box, which is exactly what happened to England, right? So that's why you become... So it doesn't matter how good a team you are. Park the Bus is not a viable strategy unless you're hitting the last 10 minutes. Then it becomes something that you want to try. Because in the last 10 minutes, teams are desperate for a winner, right? They might desperately try to score a goal and they will leave pockets of space open. Yeah. Okay, come here. Oh, in the half. Almost got a goal. Yeah. See, why did I change in my game, right? So cautious mentality, your passing lengths are longer. Positive, your passing lengths are shorter. Yeah. For me, it's impossible to create some kind of Sam Allardyce over the top target. Yeah, it is. You should try it more. Kuku Maiko. It can be done. Yeah, it can be done. So, but most people, they don't think in terms of mentality. So if you want to make a Sam Allardyce kind of system, you're playing like a 4-4-2, you have to think about how you want to attack when you have the ball. So you have to flip into a 4-2-4. You can have like a outlet winger in your 4-4-2, for example. And then you're a target man, and then you have like a center forward. Target man, center forward combination is actually quite good because they are attacking lines. Poachers are always going to be very close to the defenders. So you want a role that is actually attacking the line, not sitting with the defenders. Then you're looking at pass into space. You're looking at your mentality. Mentality is very important. You cannot ignore it because you can only play two mentalities as a counter-attacking style of football. One is cautious, the other one is attacking. You can't touch any of the others. You cannot touch positive, because positive is like this. Positive, the passing is shorter. You see what my passing is like this? That's not us being cautious, no. Cautious is longer passing lengths. So if you want to play any game, right, where if you don't understand, most people don't even understand mentality in Football Manager. They cry, oh no, you cannot play on any other mentality, you must play on it. It's because these people don't understand how mentality works, right? Mentality affects so many things in the game. It's not just one thing. There's no such thing as a magic mentality. So you need to understand the basics before you can make tactics like a very effective low block. Yeah. But mine is a mid block. I can play a low block too. Yeah, but low block means I have to think differently. Can I play low block? For example, do you have the defenders play low block? If you want to play the low block, you better have damn good defenders, because low block cannot work if you don't have good defenders. then if you have very good defenders, why you play a low block? You should play a mid block. You should raise the block a bit more. Yeah, that's the problem with low blocks. Low blocks need very, very good defenders. Because you got to win the header as well. I thought we need to park the bus at 60th minute. 60th minute park the bus, you shoot yourself in the foot. Yeah. Come on, get in. Oh, Chermiti, stop running. Oh, idiot. Okay, here it comes. Here they come. They're going to leave space, right? If they lose this, they're going to leave space. Ole used to do it, especially against City, but he had quick forward stretching. Yeah, you can play park the bus, but you have to be able to hit on the brake, right? But but they don't always do it from the get-go. Ole was playing low block, no? Low block. A lot of players were sitting and they were not opening up, right? They were just holding the lines, like 5 and 4, and then one guy sitting a bit higher up the pitch, right? So what would happen is he would have these narrow banks of 2 narrow banks, right? And the goal was not to give the space up in between, so they cannot play the passes. That's a defensive strategy a lot of teams do in football, which is you don't give players the chance to pass the ball between the lines, which is why players like Kevin De Bruyne are so valuable, like Bruno Fernandes. These kind of players are very valuable to a lot of the teams, because these players are what we call line breakers. When they get the ball, they can dribble and take on players. That's why they become so valuable. Because teams like Man City need a Kevin De Bruyne kind of player. And that's why now they need players like, that's why they sign players like Doku, line breakers. Because these players are comfortable, right, at taking players on dribbling. Whereas a counter-attacking team doesn't need those kind of players. What the counter-attacking team wants is basically pace, height, and, pace and height are for the counter-attacks. Yeah, so that's why I wanted to just say, okay, oh shit, Nico Williams lost the ball. Oh. The question is now we go into this, should I play low block? Park the bus. I'm tempted, no. Because if I play, now I'm playing I played positive, right? Okay, all right, now I'm playing cautious. Ding. Okay, no, next thing we do is we come inside here, out of possession. I'll try and keep the ball from them as well. The question now is, what do I want to do here? Okay, no more ball into box. Okay, we're not going to do that anymore. Okay. Okay, there's no more that. And if we look at this standard, defensive is standard, everything is standard. Pressing, no, nothing. Defensive is so this might out of possession setup. Okay, so we're not doing ball into box. Okay, and we're going cautious, because we want to hold shape after this, but there's risk. Cannot hold shape now. They are. Okay, yeah. Time for me to try my park the bus. Okay, all right. Time for me to go park the bus. Okay, but you see, this is not park the bus. My tactic isn't park the bus. Our possession. This is the closest I'm going to get to park the bus. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do hold shape. Where's hold shape? No, where's hold shape? Is it this one? No, this is not hold shape. It's here. Attacking with transition. There we go. Hold shape. Yeah, okay. Then time wasting, shoot it up a bit more. Standard. Tempo will be fine. Passing the rest is standard. Creative rhythm, bypass the press. We still want to bypass the press. Okay, encourage dribbling. Okay, fine. Crossing style, discourage. Okay, done. Okay, keep the ball. Let's try keep the ball a bit more. This is a bit of park. This is a bit of. It's not park the bus. I'm not parking the bus. I'm trying to keep the ball away from them. When I have the ball, oh no, Nathaniel Brown is out. Okay, he just got injured. There we go. Oh, Barreiro is the one stretched it off. So Fujita comes on. We got a left back or not? Wachon. I can't bring him on. We'll lose the game. Yeah. I got to look at a left back. Okay. Leone, can he got left foot? Can he play on the left side over? I remembered I had a wing back role last time. I just can't remember who it is now. I don't have a wing back. Yeah. Okay. 10 minutes. Vanderberg. Is it possible to create combination pass that one whole pass back to other that can do that? You can't specifically say you want like this guy to hold a pass to give to that player. The only places where you can actually do those kind of combinations, a design for those kind of things is in on the flanks with focus play. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cautious. Now tactics. Time waste. Time waste, out of possession, time wasting, go to maximum. Attacking stretches to hold shape. Now we don't do counters. Standard, no more. This is what counter press, right? So leave it. Okay. Trigger press standard is fine. Cross engagement. Okay. All right. Get it. I think it's fine. Let's not be too chickadee. I mean, I'm chicken shit right now. I want this win. Okay, now we gotta take out the striker. Bring Wachon on. I know. This guy on fresh legs and Ferguson for this guy. Combine. Put him here. Okay. Buying some time with some changes. Oh God. They got a set piece. Good defending. Fujita, counter attack. Let's go. Come on, Fuji. Boom. They pushed everyone up for the corner to get the equalizer, and we scored on the break. They pushed everyone up. What kind of a replay is this, man? Show me the goal, lah. Why am I looking at the goalkeeper for? The hell's wrong with this game? So when you want to play park the bus in Football Manager or in real life, you got to plan, right? Your park the bus. So I planned it. Well, I mean, like, okay, So we got the chance. So my shape is very. I'm not trying to give them. They have to come in and try and score goals. And it's very packed on my defense. So they're not going to find easy chances against me. This is the win we needed. Okay, let's look at other results. Arsenal beat Aston Villa. Bournemouth lost to Nottingham Forest. That's us, of course. Yeah. I know. What is this? This last week's games. What kind of timeline is that? Bournemouth won, Nottingham Forest. Hey, that's a different game, man. The game is suffering. I'm playing like, what the hell's going on here? What a win. That's how you do a low block. So, Football Manager, this game is about understanding first. Okay, the guys in football, in SI, like to pride themselves in knowing something about football. They go for actual coaching courses. They attend coaching courses. They invite actual coaches to come. So, if you want to play this game, I'm not suggesting you go and get a coaching degree, but understanding some of the fundamental basics of football is important. Yeah. So, like, when do people park the bus? How do they park the bus? Do you think international matches will be the next so-called Clásicos with Klopp, Zidane? Nah, I don't think so. It'll never. Because they don't play often enough for that to happen. Yeah, for that to happen. There can be regional classic challenges, like, the Copa Libertadores, like in South America, right? So you have that there. I can feel it sometimes. But even then also, because of they don't play every year. the rivalry doesn't happen. Used to, like Singapore and Malaysia used to play all the time, right? We have this cross-border rivalry. Every year we play, so you can actually sense it. There's this rivalry going on between rival nations that always play regularly. But Europe, I don't see that happening now because club football in the world, in Europe, is becoming more precious or more financially lucrative. Arsenal beat Aston Villa. Bournemouth lost, yeah, baby. Brentford won, lost to Crystal Palace. Burnley, Everton, we come into a big one. Chelsea beat Spurs. Oh, Spurs are in trouble. That means Spurs are next to me. 3 points. That win we did was huge because now we can reel in Spurs because you already reel in Brighton. Brighton are in the rearview mirror already. Because once I get to December, right, if I pull in Spurs, Spurs also lose their transfer powers. Yeah. Leicester, Brighton, Liverpool beat Manchester United, Man City, Fulham. What happened to Brighton? Oh, Brighton, where's Brighton? Brighton beat at Leicester. Okay, Brighton are keeping up. That's the good news. Yeah, because in the old days, Britain was, before we had all this drama, there was a time when we could say no, right? England and Germany, right? England, but there has to be regular football between these countries for you to have that kind of a discussion and go like, this is what's happening, right? The problem is there isn't enough. Yeah, Singapore and Malaysia, they used to play a lot, no. Like every year we used to play. I used to travel up and down. Oh, that's different. Now it's not. Leave the physio, give injection. Oh, Barreiro is injured. So we're reaching November, baby. Oh. So it'll be quite cool. So once again, right, I don't know if I'm going to stream later. I'm a bit tired. But you never know. But streams are going to start getting longer and longer and longer. Here's a data. Wait, I don't want to go data hub. I was about to go to the data hub and just say, whoops, we can't go to the data hub. I can't bear to watch. So when you play this game, right, it's a question of like tactics, right? You want to play low block? Yes, you can, right? You can play a low block. It's not difficult to play a low block. So how do you create a low block tactic in Football Manager? Okay, very quickly, right? This is how to create low block tactics on Football Manager. First up, before you even, I did a low block video. The principles are still the same. on the YouTube gaming channel, nothing has changed over the years. It's exactly the same. Okay, the low block Everton series. Go and look for the Everton series on Busternet YouTube Gaming, right? So go and look for the Everton series. That was the one you want to catch. Because that's when I played low block all the way. Okay. You want the Diego Simeone 4-4-2. Everton was playing a 4-4-2. So if you want to create a low block tactic, right? Okay, first up, the mentalities you have to play. Very simple. You either play cautious or attacking. Don't play anything in between. Okay? Why? Because all of these mentalities affect your passing. Okay? These are the longer passing lengths. The more cautious and attacking are the longer passing lengths. Very attacking, of course, is the longest, but you take on cautious and attacking because they have almost equal. But here, with this one, they tend to not play risky passes unless it's a AI-generated counter-attack. Here, they will take some passes. Some passes will be long and risky. Okay, this one is not. Okay, all right, fine. Start with that. You want to keep the ball positive. All passing is short. Hold shape and keep the ball away with the opposition. Go to positive. Very nice because you still got some risk, but hey, it's much better. Don't play on cautious. You play on cautious, you cannot play whole shape with cautious, right? It's very risky. Okay, so you always play whole shape with positive. So there are 3 mentalities that people should get familiar with in this game. Learn how to play cautious, learn how to play attacking, learn how to keep the ball positive. Okay, so there's the 3 that you're gonna master. Second thing you're gonna master when you create any tactic is in possession. When you go to team instructions, there are some team instructions that you must absolutely master. First one is attacking with. Attacking with defines how close your players are going to be when they have the ball and also how close they're going to be when they don't have the ball. It affects both the transitions. I know you just say in possession or possession, but hey man, SI got to put things in a box. Okay. But this is something that I asked SI, begged SI to, explain it, but they can't because this is the game. How do I know all this? Because kind of like somebody who makes the game told me, that kind of thing. So you got to understand it or get on the forums and join the the private forums on Sports Interact, get more involved in the forums, and you will find it there too. So attacking width is like when you lose the ball, it also affects the defensive width, right? So they included it a couple of years ago, but no. What happens is on standard width, it's 50-50. Ball goes out, comes back in, that kind of thing, right? They won't prioritize sending the ball to the flanks. But on attacking width, they do. The problem is when all the players are so wide, when you try and win the ball back, cannot press effectively. So counter-pressing tactics can only be played on standard, on narrow widths. That is the reason why all the meta tactics have counter-pressing on, right? Only work on narrow widths. They cannot work on attacking widths. High widths cannot. They can't work because they will always break down with weaker players. But if there's a tactic is working, it's only because it has to have players with stamina, aggression, high acceleration, work rate. So this is the most very important. You must understand how to use this. Okay, tempo, also very important. Don't always play on the highest tempo, because if your tactic is back to front very quickly, like counter-attacking tactics, don't play on standard. Play on higher tempos. You can play on a higher tempo, but remember this. Every time you go and play on attacking mentality, tempo will also shift up. Because it will, see, its mentality affects tempo, passing directness, attacking width, and defensive line. So these are the 5 things that tempo affects in end line of engagement. So if you are going to adjust tempo, you can play like a 4-4-2 low block, right? Then you can start putting on like higher. No problems there, because you want the ball to go from back to front quickly, right? Okay. You're playing on cautious mentality, but you want to encourage this to happen. So you can do that. You can do this here. You can also play on attacking. But this is, if you need to drop tempo and you find that the ball is going too fast and nobody's supporting play, you drop the tempo. So this is important. So for low block tactics, you need to master this. You need to master this. You also need to, passing directness. Does it have to be direct? Not necessarily. Play on standard, because you can still influence the passing lengths using PIs, right, on players. Then build up strategy. Now, this is a bread and butter question. Most of the time, people ask me this question. Okay, if I was playing counter-attacking, right, would I play bypass press, or do I play this play-through press? Look at me, right? I'm bypassing the press. People want to attack. Why is a mid-block? No, I play bypass press. Because I don't want to play through the press. I just want to kick the ball long. Why is a mid-block? Why would you want to play through the press? You bypass the press. Okay, so you just go, you ignore the press and you go straight away. Mid-block and low block tactics don't play through the press. You want to send the ball down the line straight away and attack them, especially if your players moving forward. So then these are the important strategies you have to consider. This, progress through this focus play, right? So focus play is something about putting an extra man on some area of the pitch to encourage more passes there. So if you're playing progress through the left flank, middle, you're asking for more players, the central midfielders, to come together a bit more. Then if you're playing on the left, you're asking the central midfielder to support the left side a bit more. And you're playing doing the right, you're asking a central midfielder on the you go to the right a bit more. And then you're doing both flanks, you're asking a central midfielder to keep moving, putting one extra player on that side. Now, the reason why I don't do this in this tactic is very simple. Okay, I got 5 already. 5 players, right? Got 2 midfielders, right? I don't want the midfielders to move too much, because if they move too much, I lose my pressing, I lose my screeners. These guys are supposed to screen midfield as a priority, not to go and try and, support play down the flanks. We got the wing backs running down the flanks to do that. So think about how the roles are going to be moving when you do something like in your tactics, because this is very, very important. Out of possession, this is where this is where all the magic happens. Okay, when you create any tactic, right? Like this defensive line, how far is your back line going to be from goal, and how far are they going to be when you have the ball, right? So from midfield. So you got to think of defensive line is 2 parts. One is how far away are they going to be from goal when you don't have the ball, right? So how far are they going to, what's the distance they got to be before they allow they start pressing the opposition, because this defensive line influences where they're going to start their press. Okay, this is very important. Because if you can play you can also play a low defensive line, meaning but my fullbacks don't go bombing up the flanks. But also we're going to be very close to our back line when we lose the ball. So you want to create this wall, right? That is sitting quite deep when you lose the ball, so that when you have to defend, right, they don't have to travel that far. Okay, so it depends on the tactic, right? So sometimes some people will create like like an attacking 4-3-3, but in defense is a 5-4-1. That is a very funky way of playing with the defensive line, because what you're doing is you sending all these players back, right? And you're only depending on the 3 or 4 in front to attack. So that's how your defensive line is going to work. Your line of engagement is strictly affected by your strikers. So if you're playing you want to create a low block tactic, your line of engagement cannot be high. It has to be mid or low, because your line of engagement is where your pressing starts. So this is the trick for low block tactics. So when I play a low block, my line of engagement is actually very low, but my defensive line is adjusted. I either play on standard or I play on higher, because I want a really squeezed up defense. If you are worried that the defense is too flat, that means the zone is too compressed. That's when you lower the defensive line even more, and you create a bigger gap, right, between your strikers and your back line. So think of the defensive line and the block is like this. So if you play a higher defensive line, the block is becoming like this, right? So it's very shallow, right? But they can still be beaten by long shots. I don't want long shots to be a problem. You drop the defense level a bit more, you create gaps. So you always want to make sure that the opposition cannot pass the ball to any player in that zone. So they cannot be players there. So you need your strikers, is a eventually be a midfield 4 and a back 4, right? You don't want the players to easily pass the ball there. So this is quite important. And that is why this cannot be higher than trigger press standard. Because if you make it very high, those players are going to step out, and more than one player is going to step out. Now, a lot of the meta tactics might do, some people, what they do is, you know what, I want trigger press to be very high. So what they will do is they'd have to drop the defensive line. You need to drop the defense. If you want to trigger press on maximum, you still can, meaning the individual players will have to go and press the opposition players. Then this defensive line has to be on lower, meaning you open the gap up, they can chase. So for that to work successfully, players have to have good concentration, they have to have good physicality. If you don't have it, you have no business doing that. So keep your stand, like me, what I've done. Defensive transitions. Now, honestly, right, you don't need counter pressing in this game. Right? You don't. Because of the IP and OOP, counter pressing is very overrated right now. For me, I only use counter pressing when I am playing the same formation in and out. Other than that, I don't use it. I just leave on standard, let the players make the decisions. Tackling as a standard is fine. Pressing trap, very overrated. You don't need this in the game, because OIs are doing such a fantastic job. But even then, you can use the roles to create pressing zones, right? So how I created my pressing zones using like a pressing wing back and a tracking winger, that creates a pressing zone. Then that's it. That's how you create a 4-4-2. Then ultimately you get this done. Then once you get the shape, then you come to the tactic itself. Then you think to yourself, how do I make a 4-4-2? So if you could create like a fullback combination, right? Then when you're defending, like I could probably do I wanted to create a tactic, right? So I do I don't know. Let's do like a direct counter attack, right? Okay, done. Formation. I don't think they have a 4-4-2 flat. I did complain to SI, Yeah, they don't have 4-4-2, I noticed that. See, you got a 4-2-4 DM, right? Okay, all right. Nonsense, right? So the SI didn't give us one. Then I don't know, my God, whatever, Okay. Okay. So we just take some rando tactic. Okay, this is in possession, right? Okay. Okay. Okay, let's say in possession, you are like this. In possession, out of possession. You can be a 4-4-2 like this, low block. So out of possession, I'm sitting very deep, right? Yeah, these guys are just tracking. I won't say they're tracking, they're quite active. And these guys are strikers that are not doing anything but sitting in a striker's position. In possession, when I win the ball back, attack straight away. Right? They bomb forward. All 4 of them. Or you can just go, okay, fine. Don't need to go. I'm too scaredy cat. So go winger, target forward. I just want 2 fellas to bang forward. Tiger center forward. These two run forward. Then these two guys have to play catch up. Because if you play like this, then in possession, really only depending on these two. Right. If you don't want to, then in possession, you can go like this. Okay. You got 1, 2, 3, and this guy is playing like a playmaking winger, for example. They can do something funky like this. Boom. Right. This is my in possession. Our possession drop into a 4-4-2. So that's how you can set it up, right? Whole shape with caution is how Tuchel Arteta plays. I don't know. I don't know how they play, lah. I don't talk to them. So unless I know I'm talking to them, I wouldn't know. Yeah. That's what I wouldn't know. Yeah. I have no idea how Tuchel is playing his tactics. Yeah. That's not for me to go there, lah. Yeah. But I kind of like think that Tuchel didn't play whole shape, no. Didn't play whole shape. Tuchel played part of the bus. Tuchel, I saw snippets of the game. The moment they took out all the ballers, were. They took out all the guys who can keep the ball and do something with it. And they put out Dan Burns. My God, I saw Dan Burns come out and say, that's it, finished. Game is gone. He's defending now. Because he took off, he went into a back three. He changed his formation completely. Yeah. Once England was had taken a lead, he went to a defensive shape. He started playing a back five. Yeah, that's it. The moment he changed formations, he changed his whole outlook in the game. That's why England got shot. He didn't just park the bus, he changed formations. And he played a back five, inviting the opposition onto their side. So I was hoping with what counter attacks? He had 0 of a counter attack. Now fuck it. England Tuchel is an idiot. You should do challenge win World Cup with Portugal. Not too easy, lah. Yeah. But, no point. Yeah. Portugal can win World Cup. The Portuguese team in Football Manager can win the World Cup. They're good enough to win the World Cup. You just don't use Ronaldo. Yeah, you can watch the whole thing on replay. Yeah, you can watch the replay. Then probably there will be more than enough information on the stream, right? I just want to share that with you here. Essentially, I want to share with you the basics of making a low block tactic. I'm not suggesting that that's the only way to make a low block tactic, but those are the principles that you need to understand when you're making a low block tactic. But the most important thing about low block tactics is this, right? If you don't have the defenders for a low block tactic, don't play low block. If your defenders don't have good jumping reach, your defenders are average, right? If you are playing with this is the most important advice I'm going to give anyone. If your defenders are average, they don't have the best jumping reach. They are 15 for jumping reach or 14 for jumping reach, and your defensive midfielders cannot win the ball. Why are you playing a low block? Because you can't win headers. See, if you want to play a low block, you have to win the headers. You have to win the midfield challenges, right? You have to have those first. If you cannot win the ball, then what are you going to do when you have the ball? There's no point talking about what you can do with the ball because you can't win the ball, right? You can't win the ball from a miss. You got to win the ball from a header. So you got to draw them into attacking you so that they are so high up the pitch that you can hit them in the spaces. And that's when you start looking at whether you have the kind of... So you have to look at So when you want to make a low block tactic, which is the reason why I made a low block tactic with Everton, right? Because Everton have the players for low block systems. Back, there's the FM24, right? So Everton had their 2 strikers. They had Braithwaite as a defender. They have very good defenders and they had decent wing backs. So I looked at the team. I went, they can play a low block, no problem. But if your team doesn't have guys who can win the ball in defense and at least play those passes from defense out or midfield out to players who can do something with the ball, then you shouldn't be playing a low block. In fact, I always say that you cannot play a low block with, I will say this, don't play a low block with an average team. If you're going to play a low block with an average team, then you have to have very good players who can win the ball in the air. Then you might have a chance. If your players cannot win the ball in the air, then it's suicide football. Yeah, you get in trouble. All right, guys, I want to thank everybody for coming to today's stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I shall catch up with you guys tomorrow more of the same. We shall continue with this. And then, I don't know, let me know your thoughts. This is a cap given to me by my ex-girlfriend. My wife doesn't know, no. This who gave me this cap. This was from my ex-girlfriend. Yeah. She hates her. Okay, you guys stay safe, take care of yourselves. I shall see you soon.